Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Olivia, and today, as you guys can tell by the title, I'll be showing you how I make my wigs. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a canvas head. This one is a 22-inch head. Next thing you're gonna need is a dome cap. I prefer to use the mesh dome because it's breathable and it makes your head feels good. It doesn't make you feel like you have on a wig. Okay, next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need some needles and thread, and I'm using the curved needles today. However, you guys can use straight needles if you prefer. Anything that you prefer, anything that you are comfortable with. So the thread that I'm using today is the cotton thread. You guys can also use nylon thread, but I prefer cotton. So guys, it's now time to put our cap on the canvas head, and usually I put the smaller threading, if you guys can see, at the back, and then I put the bigger end to the front, and I always center it, as you guys can see, to that line in the middle of the canvas. Yeah. Alright guys, so now that our cap is on our canvas head, we're going to move on to the next thing, which is placing that frontal onto our cap. Okay, so we're going to move that frontal down like an inch below the cap, just because when you place it on your head, you want to make sure that it fits properly and it doesn't, because when you sew, it's going to go back. Alright, so when to find the middle, you guys can look for the peak in the frontal, or you guys can put it on your head and then mark it with a color crayon or pencil or whatever it is that you guys have. I used a white pencil, as you guys could see just now. So I pinned the front and the back with some T-pins. I'm now just taking that air and putting a braid in it, so I get it out of the way so I could see better. Alright guys, so when you're pinning the side of the frontal, you want to make sure that you go straight down and not backwards, because if you go back, then the ear parts, the hair loops, will not fit when you finish the wig. Okay, so just go straight down with that frontal. Just follow the lining of the frontal and go straight down. As you guys can see, that frontal is pinned down to the guards and it is flat. You want your frontal, when you're finished pinning it, to be flat at the back. Okay, just like that. So when you're finished pinning the frontal, it should look something like this, with all that gap in the front. Please guys, do not be alarmed, because when you're finished making your wig, all that gap will be gone. Okay, that M, that's the signature, the M. Okay, so now we're ready to sew. All right, and a lot of persons, they sew upwards rather than downwards. I sew downwards personally. I think that it's no biggie, it's no difference, it's just what you're comfortable with. So to start off guys, I go exactly through the slip in the back. I do that about 2 times, and then I wrap the thread around the needle about 2 times as well, and that creates a knot, so it's a secured, so it is secured. And then I just go ahead and sew the side. Alright guys, so we're at the end of our frontal, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing as we did starting to sew it. We're going to go through that slip, and we're going to do that 2 times again, and then we're going to wrap it around the needle 3 times, and that becomes our secured knot. Alright, so it's time to sew the bundles on, and we're gonna go as close as possible to the frontal, but not on the frontal, guys. Remember, the frontal is all lace, so you're trying to protect the frontal. Alright, so we're gonna do the same thing, go through the cap, through the weft 2 times, and then wrap it around the needle 2 times as well, and we create our secured knot. We cannot say that enough. Secured knot, secured knot, secured knot. Alright guys, so I'm just sewing this down, and as you guys can see, I'm sewing the first track single, and I'm sewing it as close as possible to the end of the dome cap. So guys, when we get to the other side of the cap, we're going to do a fold over method. We're not cutting the weft. If you guys like, you can cut the weft. I personally do not like to cut wefts because I like to revamp hair, and I don't like revamping pieces of hair, so I try not to cut my wefts. But what I do is just flip the hair, and then we're just gonna go with our needle straight through the weft about 2 times, and we're gonna knot, make a secure knot 2 times around the needle. So guys, this is basically what we're doing for the most part. We're just going back and forth doing the fold over method. We're just going in this C pattern, and yeah. So as you guys can see, also I use the T-pins as guide as well. If you guys can, you can always use your hand to guide you, like hold the weft while you sew. I couldn't do this unfortunately because yeah, I'm making a video, but yeah, you could use the T-pins and as guide, like to hold the weft while you sew. So guys, now that we're at the top, and as you guys can see, we only have a little C remaining. What we're gonna start to do is we're starting to go across just like that, just because you want, when your frontal goes back, you want it to lay as flat as possible. Even if you do a updo in the front, it is seamless and nice. So you want to start going across. And for this, I'm not cutting the weft. I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do the secured knot, and I'm just gonna fold over method. So you guys continue to watch, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so when I reach at the very last track that is to be sewn on the cap, I always do that track as a single track. So that's the only time I cut my weft. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna measure the distance, and then we're gonna start sewing. I actually lost some footage of me ending this, but it's basically the same thing. Do the secure knot, sew across, and then end with the secure knot. Okay guys, so that's basically it. When I'm sewing this last track, guys, I always sew as close as possible to the frontal, but not on the frontal. So actually it looks like something more like a parallel line, you know, making sense right now. Put your two fingers together side by side, exactly side by side, just like that. So yeah, best friends, okay? Alright guys, so this concludes everything. We're now finished. You know, you made the secure knot, you're finished. You brush out your hair and it's time to cut that excess cap off because we don't need it. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a scissors and we're gonna cut as close to the lace, but not too close, because you do not want to cut any thread, because you just don't want to redo this whole frontal. Okay, so you cut as close as possible, but not too close. All right, just like that. Alright guys, so I will be making a video of how I apply my wig to my head, so stay tuned for that. This is just basically it. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. You guys share with your family and friends. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Tell me how you make your wigs, or any pointers that you have for me. I'll surely take them. Everyone is a learner. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.